Lumen's dazzling day of discovery. The sun began to peek over the emerald hills of the great green forest, painting the sky in shades of peach and gold. Lumen, a small bird with feathers the color of a summer sky, stretched her wings. What made Lumen truly special was her long, elegant tail that glowed with a soft, magical light. She decided that today would be a day for a grand adventure. "I shall find all the wonders that start with the letter D," she chirped happily. She looked around her nest and saw the very first thing. Can you see the light coming from her tail? It flickers like a tiny lantern, ready to guide her through the deep woods. Lumen fluttered down from her high branch to the forest floor, where the grass was cool and soft. There, she discovered a patch of beautiful white flowers with bright yellow centers. "Daisies!" she exclaimed. Nestled on the petals of the daisies were tiny, sparkling spheres of water. And look, shimmering dewdrops. Lumen leaned down to take a tiny sip of a cold dewdrop. It tasted fresh and sweet, like a morning treat. She hopped from one daisy to another, her glowing tail trailing behind her like a ribbon of light. How many white petals can you count on the biggest daisy? As Lumen explored further, the bushes began to rustle. Out stepped a gentle creature with long, slender legs and big, kind eyes. It was Dapple the Deer. Dapple had white spots on his brown coat that looked just like patches of sunlight. "Hello, Lumen," Dapple said with a soft voice. "Are you looking for D things too?" "I am looking for my breakfast." Lumen fluttered up and landed right on Dapple's velvety nose. They decided to walk together through the dappled sunlight, looking for more treasures. Dapple walked very slowly so Lumen could keep up. Dapple led Lumen to a clearing filled with bright yellow puffballs growing in the grass. "These are dandelions," Dapple explained. "They are very delicious." Dapple nibbled on the green leaves while Lumen watched a bright blue insect zoom past. "A dragonfly!" Lumen cried. The dragonfly hovered in the air, its wings moving so fast they were just a blur. It danced around Lumen and Dapple, zigzagging through the warm air. Lumen and Dapple watched the dragonfly until it disappeared into the tall reeds near the water. Lumen said goodbye to Dapple and flew toward the sound of splashing water. She reached a wide, blue pond where she saw a tiny, fluffy yellow bird swimming near the edge. "Hello, I am Daisy the Duckling," the little bird peeped. Daisy was very good at paddling her orange feet. "I am looking for D things," Lumen told her. Daisy splashed her wings happily. "You found me. I am a duckling, and my name is Daisy." Lumen hovered over the water, her glowing tail reflecting in the ripples of the pond. Near the edge of the pond, Lumen spotted someone sitting very still on a floating green plant. It was Dewy the frog. Dewy was bright green with big, golden eyes. He was sitting on a bed of tiny green leaves that covered the water like a carpet. "This is called duckweed," Dewy croaked proudly. "It is the perfect place for a frog to rest." Suddenly, Dewy gave a mighty leap, bowing. He splashed into the water and then climbed back onto the duckweed, shaking the water off his smooth skin. Lumen laughed and clapped her wings. Dewy the frog hopped along the bank to show Lumen a hidden spot near a small ditch. "Look here," Dewy whispered. Hidden behind some tall grass was a bush covered in small, dark purple fruits. "Dewberries," Lumen chirped. They looked like tiny blackberries but grew close to the ground. Lumen picked a ripe dewberry and took a bite. It was sweet and a little bit tart. She shared the fruit with Dewy, and they both had purple juice on their beaks and chins. It was the most delightful snack of the whole day. As the sun began to sink lower in the sky, Lumen flew up into the branches of a grand dogwood tree. The tree had beautiful white blossoms that looked like stars. Resting on a sturdy branch was a large bird with soft brown feathers and big round eyes. This was Dusk the owl. "Good evening, Lumen," Dusk hooted slowly. "The day is almost over, and the dark is coming. Lumen wasn't afraid of the dark because her tail provided a warm, comforting glow. She sat beside Dusk and felt the cool evening breeze ruffle her feathers. Dusk the owl pointed a wing toward the horizon. "Look at the distant mountains, Lumen. Soon the woods will be very dark, and that is when the night animals wake up." Lumen looked out over the forest. She could see the tops of the trees turning into dark shadows. She saw a pair of tiny eyes peeking out from a hollow log. "Are those dormice?" she asked. Dusk nodded. "The dormice love the dark. They are just starting their day as yours is ending." Lumen felt a little bit sleepy after her long day of discovery. Lumen flew back to her cozy nest as the stars began to twinkle in the sky. She thought about all the D things she had found: daisies, dewdrops, Dapple the Deer, dandelions, dragonflies, Daisy the duckling, duckweed, Dewy the frog, dewberries, the ditch, the dogwood tree, Dusk the owl, and the dormice. Her tail was a dazzling light in the dark forest, guiding her safely home. She tucked her head under her wing and drifted off to sleep, dreaming of what letter she would discover tomorrow. Good night, Lumen. Good night, forest.